All right, Prakash, just stay with us. Let's get in Mayuresh as well into this discussion. Mayuresh, there appears there is some regrouping, and that's why it's appearing like there was such a big beat on the top line. Margins have just calculated at around 8.6%. We were working with margins of around 20%. So actually, operationally, it's not looking as good as it initially looked in terms of that big jump that we're seeing on the top line. Come in on this.
Oh yes, Nigel, afternoon. And the top line definitely looks better prima facie, and as you rightly pointed out, one really needs to understand how the restatement have happened. But clearly the margins is something which was expected to be in excess of 90.5, significantly because of lower costs and specifically power and fuel costs. So yes, I think the beat is there on the income part, on the PAT front, but the margins, in my opinion, have disappointed a tad bit.
All right, Mayuresh, but what kind of volume growth were you estimating? Because I don't have those numbers still with me, but we were working with around 3 to around 3.5%, approximately 11.5 million tons, 11.4 million tons to be precise. Do you think that that number has, the numbers have exceeded those expectations on the top line? Because realizations, given that they have exposure to South, East, as well as West, or their prices have been fairly weak. So what kind of volumes are you working with?
We were expecting around 4 to 5% volume growth on a YOY basis. If you look at the September quarter last year, it was around 10.8 million tons, which is at dispatched. So we were looking at a figure of anywhere between 11.4, 11.5. And again, I think the pricing discipline across regions has been maintained. So if you look at Central India, if you look at North India, the pricing discipline has got maintained. And South India is where the stability in prices is being witnessed at this point of time. So again, it will be interesting to note what kind of realizations UltraTech has really come up with. Because again, in the quarter gone by, it was close to 4,970 odd rupees a ton. So if they have outdone that, which looks prima facie, looking at the top line, I think that is going to be a beat. But again, I think, as I said, one really needs to look at the line-by-line item on what they have reported at this point of time.
All right, and it appears at least that the power and fuel costs, we're talking about petcoke prices going up, etc. That's not really played out. So they're sitting on some inventory, and I think that's what's helped them, because you take a look at power and fuel costs, that's showing a contraction of more than 15%. And Mangalam as well has pointed out that maybe, in fact, that excise duty, as per the accounting changes, because of that, we are seeing that as well come into the top line. Mayuresh, but what do you do with the stock from here? $225, $230 per ton on an EV per ton basis. Expensive. What do you do from here?
Again, yes, I think it is expensive in terms of valuations at this point of time. But largely, again, as Prakash was mentioning as well, I think because of the extended monsoons, Q3 volume dispatches will also be a little bit tepid and soft. But beyond FY18, as utilization levels start picking up, and even if you start factoring in improvements happening on the realization because of pricing discipline, and one offsets that against the power and fuel and the freight costs going up over the next couple of years, the large performance in terms of bottom line should be quite good for UltraTech. But again, I think valuations at this juncture, specifically from an FY17 perspective, look quite fair. So again, I think stock looks fairly valued. So again, it's a hold from our side. But I think we need to hear the management commentary out before we change our estimate.
Right. We'll have to wait for some clarifications on that front. But thanks so much, Mayuresh, for joining in. Mangesh joins us as well. Mangesh, you have had the longest time and to look at these numbers. How are you reading it? I think there is some kind of adjustment that's taken place because of accounting changes, and that's why there's a beat on the top line. But margin-wise, actually, there could be a bit of a disappointment at around 18.5%, 18.6%.
No, so actually, if you adjust the excise numbers, I think the margins are in line with what we are expecting, 21.2%.
Right.
Probably volumes, a number I don't have right now, but volumes realization may not be as much as I expected. But the numbers, at least on the EBITDA level, are higher than what the consensus was expecting, around 1,150 crores.
Correct.
So that's a good number given the quarter that we have had, and going forward, definitely if the company can report, I think that the EBITDA per ton would be either at around 1,000 rupees or probably a bit higher than that. So that's a good number in the quarter that we have recently witnessed.
Right.
So it's a YOY increase in margins. So there's a margin expansion we have seen, and it's tad lower than the last quarter that we have seen. So obviously it's not a disappointment. It's a good number basically in the current quarter.
That's true. But it's Mangesh, the word on the street was that the numbers are going to be blockbuster. They're not a big beat as well. We'll have to wait for more clarity, and keep in mind that those petcoke prices have shot up, and that's going to really have a negative impact in the next quarter. By the way, what kind of volumes are you working with, Mangesh, for the past quarter?
6% growth was what I was looking at.
Absolute number?
11.8 million tons.
11.8 million tons, all right. So you were working with an EBITDA per ton of what, around 1,000?
1050, yeah.
1050. So if I take this number, the EBITDA of the total operating profit that we are calculating, that's around 1,155 crores. And if I take it at 11.8 million tons, then the EBITDA per ton is coming in a tad bit under that 1,000 rupees.
Just a bit at the 1,000, 980 odd.
980 rupees, yeah, that's the calculation that I've got. So Mangesh, you really did get it right. You went positive on the entire cement space. We have seen all those stocks see a big run. What do you do with these stocks from here, particularly something, the industry leader, UltraTech Cement?
So UltraTech, our view is that if it's not a good entry point at the current price, but definitely the holders should be holding on to it.
Okay.
UltraTech will continue to receive the scarcity premium because for the large shareholders, I think the only way to play the cement and infra story is through these stocks, which are highly liquid and large companies like UltraTech.
Right.
And if you draw the long-term strategy as well as the growth that this company can show you this over 18 and 19, then obviously the valuation would probably start looking on a lower side. So it's a hold for me, but definitely not. I would not be entering the stock right now.
All right. Thanks so much, Mangesh, Prakash, as well as Mayuresh for joining us. So, Sumaira, let me just sum these numbers up. It appears the top line that's got a bit of a boost because of account changes. That's why it's appearing like it's a big 10% beat. Because I'm just looking at the versus numbers. The last year versus number, that was a stated number that came out from the management, was that the top line was 5,700 crores or thereabouts.